Have you ever looked at your restaurant bill and thought, how did it get this high? On average, a single person spends around $222 a month eating out. Couples without kids spend $373, and families with kids spend about $500. That's a serious chunk of your budget going to meals you might barely remember a week later. In this video, you'll see how small, routine dining expenses pile up, why the value has dropped, and practical ways to turn that money into savings or investments. And it often starts before your plate even hits the table. Dining out today often feels less like enjoying a meal and more like navigating a series of hidden tolls. You walk in expecting to pay what's printed on the menu, but what you actually spend is driven up by small, strategic charges layered throughout the process. This isn't about splurging on extra appetizers. It's what many call cost creep, where little add-on fees and shifting tipping norms quietly inflate the final total without you realizing until it's too late. Here's how it works. You see a menu price, that feels like your budget anchor, but then a kitchen fee, healthcare fee, facility fee, or convenience fee appears on the receipt. Add in a credit card surcharge, which more restaurants now pass along instead of absorbing, plus sales tax, and your total is already higher than planned. On top of that, tipping prompts on digital payment screens now frequently start at 20% or even 25% for sit-down meals, and often 15 to 30% for takeout. These new defaults change what people actually pay because saying no tip often requires an extra tap or two, small frictions that add up in real dollars. Take a simple example. You order a $14 sandwich and drink for pickup. Before you can check out, the tablet screen invites you to add a 20 or 25% tip. Then there's tax and sometimes a packaging or to-go fee slipped into the breakdown. That quick lunch is suddenly approaching $20, and that's without you adding anything extra. In restaurants, this effect is multiplied by automatic gratuities applied even to small parties, plus menu add-ons like $3 for a slice of cheese or $6 for fries that seem minor in the moment but are designed to blend into your order. None of these charges feel huge on their own, and that's exactly why they work. A few dollars for a surcharge here, a default tip there, one overlooked add-on, it's death by 1,000 cuts. Over time, they quietly drain more from your wallet than a single big splurge would because you never feel the impact all at once. And since most of these fees are only visible at the end, after you've committed to the meal, they can leave you feeling less satisfied with the experience overall. The cultural shift in tipping alone has been dramatic. For years, 15% was standard for good service. Now, with digital payment systems and evolving expectations, 20 to 30% tips are often the default on screen. Even for takeout, many prompts start at 15% or higher before you've received your order. If you're also getting hit with junk fees and surcharges, the gap between the menu price and your total can be substantial, without any real improvement in the food or service you're paying for. That hit to perceived value matters. You might walk in thinking the cost matches what you're getting, but when the bill arrives padded with charges you didn't actively choose, the enjoyment fades. Multiply that across months and you're looking at serious money. Just an extra $50 slipping away each month through these quiet markups is $600 gone in a year. Money you could put towards something noticeable, whether that's travel, new gear, or bolstering savings. And here's the part most people miss. Cost creep is only one piece of the puzzle. There's a single category on most restaurant bills that can push totals even higher than all these small fees combined, and it's often the biggest silent budget killer of all. When you look closely at a restaurant bill, one line item often carries far more weight than you expect. The drinks. Whether it's a soft drink, a pint of beer, a glass of wine, or a cocktail, beverages, especially alcoholic ones, can have some of the steepest markups on the menu. They might seem like small additions in the moment, but they can tilt your final total upward faster than almost anything else you order. Research shows why. Take a soda, for example. The ingredients, a squirt of syrup, carbonated water, ice, cost the restaurant about $1.50 or less. On your bill, it's $4 before tax and tip. That's nearly triple the cost. Upgrade to alcohol and the gap widens. A locally brewed beer costing the restaurant around $2 might be priced at $8 or $9 for you. A $12 wholesale bottle of wine can be sold at $10 per glass, meaning the first pour covers the entire bottle's cost and every other pour is pure profit. Cocktails work the same way. Ingredient costs often pale in comparison to menu prices. Restaurants rely on these markups for a reason. Food comes with slimmer margins, more prep time, and greater spoilage risks. Drinks, especially alcohol, store well, need minimal labor, and deliver high, steady profits. They're a predictable revenue stream, which is why servers often suggest pairing your meal with something from the bar or a specialty drink list. The issue for your wallet is just how quickly these add-ons multiply your check. Picture 2 entrees at $15 each. That's $30. Add a $10 appetizer, now you're at $40. Now throw in 1 round of $12 cocktails each, and suddenly the bill jumps to $64 before tax and tip. Drinks alone have added 40% in one move. With more people at the table or a couple more rounds, drinks can easily account for 30% or more of your bill without anyone feeling like they've overindulged. This is where a simple adjustment can free up real money. Skip one $10 drink each week, and over a month, that's $40 you keep. Do this all year and you've got close to $500, enough for a weekend getaway, a new tech purchase, or a meaningful contribution to savings. Those skipped drinks barely register in the moment, but snowball into something tangible when you add them up over time. The takeaway isn't to eliminate drinks entirely. It's to recognize their outsized role in inflating your bill and make conscious choices. Sometimes that means having your favorite beer or wine at home for a fraction of the cost. Other times, it's limiting rounds when you're out. Even trimming just a portion of your beverage spending can noticeably lower the total without cutting into the main reason you went out in the first place. And while drink markups happen in the dining room, there's another part of the modern food experience that can drain your budget just as fast. It seems like the more you lean on it for convenience, the more it chips away at your wallet, often without even giving you the quality you were hoping for. For many households, takeout and delivery aren't just occasional treats. They're part of a regular routine. On average, people dine out 4 to 5 times a month and place about 3 takeout or delivery orders in that same time. With that kind of frequency, even modest markups and fees can quietly turn into a major budget drain. The appeal is obvious. Fresh, ready-to-eat food brought straight to your door with just a few taps. It feels faster and easier than cooking, and it can seem like a cheaper alternative to going out. But in reality, the numbers tell a different story. Delivery has evolved from a rare convenience to a habit for millions, and the true price tag often comes as a surprise. One reason is that the real cost hides until you're almost done ordering. You browse the menu, spot a $15 entree, and mentally commit to that number. But at checkout, the stacking begins. A delivery fee, a service fee, sometimes a packaging or small order fee. Then the tip prompt, often starting at 20% or more. In an illustrative example, that $15 dish can end up closer to $26 before you've even hit place order. You're paying a steep premium without the extras you'd get dining in, like table service or atmosphere. And the payoff in quality often falls short. A burger that left the kitchen hot can lose its edge in transit. Fries that were crisp on the line may arrive soft. Soups cool, sauces leak, and sometimes the order isn't complete. All of that chips away at the satisfaction you were expecting when you committed to the extra cost. Once you factor in how often these small markups occur, the scale becomes clearer. Ordering delivery twice a week at $25 to $30 per order works out to $200 to $240 a month. Over the course of a year, that's more than $2,500, often in addition to what's already being spent on dining out. Unlike groceries, there's nothing lasting to offset the expense, just one meal, often past its peak by the time you're done eating it. Much of this spending slips through because it's easy to justify in the moment. You're busy, tired, or just not in the mood to cook, so the $5 to $10 in extra charges feels like it's buying you time. But when that reasoning repeats week after week, it stops being a minor indulgence and starts becoming a permanent line in your budget. And because the purchase happens in seconds on a phone app, it's even easier for your cravings to win over your long-term financial logic. Delivery also reflects broader cost pressures in the restaurant industry. Rising food prices, higher wages, and rent are often passed directly to customers through increased menu prices and new fees. Combine that with the base delivery charges and tipping norms pushed through app prompts, and what looks like a quick, affordable solution can be one of the least cost-effective ways to feed yourself. If you've ever finished a delivery meal thinking, that really wasn't worth it, you're not alone. The combination of high cost, middling quality, and fleeting payoffs leaves a lot of people feeling that way. But what's easy to miss is that this isn't just about avoiding disappointment, it's about recognizing how much those decisions shape what you can afford elsewhere. The same dollars you're handing over for lukewarm fries could be moving you towards something far more valuable if you chose to redirect them. And when you see what even a small shift in that direction can do, the trade-offs start to look very different. What if the money you're spending on meals you barely remember could be the same money quietly building your future? Skipping a night out isn't just about avoiding one more overpriced check. It's about turning that choice into something that lasts far longer than the food on your plate. Redirect even a small slice of that spending into something productive, and you start creating momentum without overhauling your lifestyle overnight. Think about how often a single outing costs $20, $40, or $50. In isolation, it feels like no big deal. You might even tell yourself it's too small to matter in the long run. But if you cut just two $40 dinners a month, you've freed up $80. That's about $960 over the course of a year. A simple, real-world number anyone can verify. Now imagine you funnel that amount consistently into savings or investments. While the returns depend on market performance, the principle is simple. Consistent contributions grow over time, especially when compounding comes into play. Every deposit becomes a building block, and those building blocks begin to work for you. This is not where the idea of opportunity cost becomes practical. Every dollar you spend on an average meal is a dollar not working to improve your future. Seen this way, just this once habits start looking different, because you can connect them directly to other goals, like paying off debt faster, boosting an emergency fund, or building an investment account that gives you real choices later in life. The benefits don't stop at the math. Replacing even a couple of restaurant meals a month with home-cooked dinners gives you full control over ingredients and portions. That's a straightforward way to improve nutrition and potentially save money in other areas like healthcare. Research has found that cooking at home isn't just cheaper, it often tastes better, and many people discover they actually enjoy the process. What starts as a strategy to save money can become something you look forward to, whether it's trying a new recipe or fine-tuning a dish you already love. Home cooking can also be social. Hosting a meal for friends or cooking with family creates moments that stick, with the added bonus of avoiding inflated restaurant markups. These meals tend to be more personal and memorable, and they don't leave you with the quiet sting of wondering if the cost was really worth it. Plus, the more you cook, the better and faster you get, adding a skill set you carry for life. That said, this isn't an argument to stop eating out altogether. Some experiences are worth every cent. whether it's a unique dish you can't replicate at home, a special celebration, or a place whose atmosphere you genuinely value. Certain cuisines or cooking methods, like great dim sum or expertly deep-fried foods, can be hard to reproduce. And those are ideal times to spend your dine-out dollars. The key is being intentional. Reserve eating out for moments that genuinely feel worth it, and skip the default or convenience-driven visits that don't deliver real value. A good way to start is with a simple plan. Pick 1 or 2 recurring restaurant or delivery habits you won't miss much, track how much you save in a month, and consciously move that exact amount into savings, debt repayment, or an investment account. Treat it as an experiment you can measure rather than a gamble or a guarantee. That small but deliberate shift can change how you view every dining decision and gradually reshape your financial path. Because once you stop treating restaurant spending as an automatic habit and start treating it as a choice with alternatives, you open the door to more value both in your wallet and in your life. Dining out will always have its place, but now it's about making sure each meal out delivers real value. Start with one simple step. Track every dining expense for 30 days. Restaurant bills, delivery orders, coffee runs, then total them up. Next, choose 1 or 2 areas to cut. That could mean skipping a drink when you eat out or limiting delivery to once a week. Finally, take the money you save and redirect it into a specific goal like your emergency fund, debt repayment, or an investment account. Share in the comments one dining expense you'll cut this month, and subscribe for more practical personal finance strategies. Small, consistent shifts like this can transform how you feel about spending, from being at the mercy of rising costs to taking control and making your money work for you.